All right, everyone. I am back as promised to do a video on all of what my traveler's notebooks look like. These are Fauxdoris, okay? That means it's an interpretation of this, which is a regular Midori notebook, okay? I'm not really using this one, so that's why I'm not going to include this in the video, but I do have it. Now my traveler's notebooks, and I'm going to try and do this without it being like 20 minutes, but I can't promise you, okay? So if this turns into a long talking video session, grab some coffee. So these three over here are kind of like the large, the medium, and the small version of like Bible study stuff. These three over here are the narrow size, which is the Midori size version, these two down here of a planner, and then the smaller size of a planner. So, and then I have this little one to use in my purse along with my wallet. So I'm going to start off small. So I'm going to try to put these all aside, and I burned myself somewhere, and I burned it myself by taking out fries out of the oven. And my husband said he read somewhere to put honey on it and it's supposed to help. Now it is helping, it's not burning, but I've never heard of that. I'm going to obey my husband just because, you know, hey, let's try it out. This is the smaller version. This goes in my purse. I used to use this as my wallet, but now my wallet is a Calypso, and so I switch back and forth to these small little field note size as either my wallets or my on-the-go kind of notebook for notes. This is a Chic Sparrow. This is a FoxyFix. I actually am now preferring this FoxyFix leather Wanderlust. So I'm going to go real fast. The first one is random notes, half of the book. The book is from Barnes & Noble. It's a Piccadilly. And then the second part is sermon notes. Okay. And I have a bullet journal. I've had this, you've been using this since May, and I don't use it every day, but I've used it throughout until yesterday. So it's just an area where I can just kind of brain dump on a smaller version. No nonsense, no decorating, no craziness, just get my thoughts down. This is another bullet journal because I'm almost done. There's only like a couple pages left and then I'm done. So I have that one in there as backup. Then just random. These are absolutely random. Shopping lists, notes, month on a page, week at a glance. I mean, you guys have seen this one. It's just random stuff. Passwords, things like that. So this goes in my purse. That way I can have like a notebook system full of, in case I want to write something. This is my Bible study. Yeah, I'm going to start off with why I have them in different sizes is because think about it. I love the word. You guys know I do. I write a lot. Whatever purse I have at the time, I can switch out between all of these. But right now, this FoxyFix, this A5 FoxyFix is my main study, where I do a lot of my main Bible study. This stays at home on the side of my bed. In case I'm on the go, I have this little guy. It's a Bateo bunker. And I have notes right up at the front. I think this is a yellow paper house insert. I got it when I bought one of these books. But I have little scriptures that I've pasted down that I can actually do some study on the go. And I have scripture with me. This I just got. I added this weekly one in here just because I did. And then this is random. So I leave this on the shelf. I'm not using it like daily right now, but I leave it on the shelf so that if I have a purse that's bigger than the one I'm carrying now, I don't have to carry this one. I can carry this one. So these are kind of like interchangeable in a way. All of these here kind of serve as the same kind of purpose. Bible study, I always keep, or sermon notes or something like that. So this is that natural dye leather from Mateo Bunker, and I love it. Then you have, this is the Chic Sparrow wide, and I'm not really using this. I'm holding this for actual inserts, but I kind of do the same concept. I have prayers in here, you know, that I've done before. I was doing that document faith, and then I was journaling. I mean, like, I'm not really using this one, but I brought this along to say, sorry, I will use this size for Bible study. Like I'll take some out, like I'll keep these two in here. I'll take these because these are May designs, these two here, and they're planner kind of things. But what I will do, and what I thought to do, is because I do scripture application prayer all the time, you know, my soap. So I thought to do scripture, which have a more in-depth study of the scripture, application, prayer, and then like goals, like what can I do? What are my action items? So that's why I kept this in here. And then this one is just a weekly planner that I was using at one point in time. So it's kind of like just storage, but it's May designs, and it looks like that blank. So this, for a while before I got this A5, I had all of this set up in here, this wide Chic Sparrow. This is my regular Bible study one. I believe I did a video on it already. So this is book notes. One book is, you know, divided into book notes and sermon with podcasts. This one is Jesus Calling devotional that I do, and I take notes and I write as if God's speaking to me, and then I write down different scripture in that study when I'm doing that. Surrounding scripture that speaks to my heart, definitions if I need to, whatever in regards to scripture I can write there, because this book, a lot of people are like, well, you do scripture over here, but see, this is just scripture that's decorative, and then it's taking apart a certain scripture. Over here, when I write a scripture down, I'm just weird like that, where when I'm doing my Jesus Calling, it usually comes with a scripture. So because I do my Jesus Calling notes as if God is speaking to me, I always sign it, Love Jesus. Well, there's corresponding scriptures to that I like to write out over here, so I can soap them. If I can choose one of those scriptures, and I'll soap them. This. So that's that. This is for my Christmas, the Advent study with She Reads Truth. So this is in particular for that. This Moleskine notebook. So that's that. I'm using basically this extra wide FoxyFix, this Chic Sparrow wide, this Mateo Bunker natural in the personal size, and then this FoxyFix field note size, all kind of for the same purpose: brain dump, Bible study, prayers, soap, scripture, sermon notes, podcast notes, books when I read, notes when I read a book, all that kind of journaling, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's that. Then when I was doing my normal planning, and I found out about the Fauxdoris and all that, oh my gosh, I went crazy, because I loved the concept of having no rings and just having it just not getting in the way of me writing. So these two, which this is a narrow size Chic Sparrow, and this is a 3 speckled fawn in the narrow size, kind of does the same thing. Remember when I said I always need notes in the front? I have brain dump, or like a daily, and then well, that's the brain dump, and then I have this one as a daily. These are the Papery My Day by Veronica Hill, and that I will use as a today, because again, I need it today, and then I have a month. So this never changes. I mean, I may change the front to decorate or whatever, but it's all the same concept. My concept in all my systems and how I have them set up is I have them all set up already. That way I can switch in and out of them. But the concept of what I do with each and every one of them are still the same. Just like with my Bible study, I have to have somewhere to do my devotion. I have to have somewhere to do soap, have somewhere to do prayers. I have to have somewhere where I can write out notes for when I'm reading a book. Same thing with my planners. I have to have somewhere where I can have random notes. I haven't really wrote in this one because I'm having issues with it being so pretty. I have to have like a bullet journal. Okay. I have to have a today. And back here, scripture. I don't have the monthly because surprisingly, I have just the one monthly in this size, which is this one. This is like my whole, I've had this, since March of this year. So March all the way to now. This will go into 2016 too. So I also bought new inserts from Martha Ramushi in the narrow size because I only have 1 month. One that I can kind of bounce back and forth from when I can put them in my different traveler's notebooks. But say, I keep moving this, jeez. So say I want, you know, one day I'm feeling the black or one day I'm feeling the brown kind of camera color. I can take all that's out of there and put it in here and vice versa. So I love that. I love that. And the leathers all feel differently. So you know how that goes. You guys seen this. This is the personal size one that I go back and forth with my ringed. I always have some kind of personal traveler's notebook where I go back and forth that I could use. And I do that on purpose. So you guys have seen this. What you haven't seen is I decorated more dailies. And now they're so pretty, I don't want to use them. But I will, I know me. But I got into, I'm just flipping through, but one day I got into, like, I want to decorate each page happy color, sticker, something, and OMG, I decorated all of them. And as you've seen before, I do just have one day on a page. These stickers are from Libby & Co. These are those happy planner stickers. These little headers are Libby & Co. These come from the Container Store, this one. So these little inspirational little doohickeys come from the Happy Planner. So, I mean, I have a lot of stickers, so I can't name every single one. I'm just naming the ones that I can think of. But anyway, so I always have to have a system that I can kind of at a glance just be like, okay, well, today I'm feeling this. I have everything I need. And if I need, and before I kind of flip over and take it with me, if I have something in here that's really important, I kind of flip through to it and see, okay, does that piece of information need to follow me in here, in this one? And if it does, you know, just add it in there. Either write it in my note system. My whole little, in the beginning I have notes, so write it in here. You know, you have plenty of area to write it, so go ahead and write it in there. So I really like this. I'm really loving having all of my traveler's notebooks for these purposes. Again, like I have talked to you guys about, like, I don't limit myself. I don't say, you know what, I have all of these planners, what am I going to do with them? I always set them up for my different uses. Like, say I wanted to make this the Bible study one. Like, I want this cover to have all of this contents in it. Well, because they're the same size, I can, well, almost. I can exchange. These are smaller kind of true personal size inserts, but the 3 Speckle Fawn, she makes them a little wider, so I can put that in here. It's an interchangeable system that's very versatile, and it allows me to kind of archive really quickly, and I can do what I want with it versus the rings. So that's why I have a variety of different binders and notebooks and traveler's notebooks and different planners. I don't use them all at once. I may use like 3 at once, but one is always going to be Bible study. One is always going to be like a home management little area, and one's going to be to go with me somewhere. I will not carry all 3 at once. I've tried that before and I was like the bag lady. It was way too crazy. But I do have other ones. I have a veiled crane. You guys see that one? Seen that one? It's a fabric one. I just have a lot of storage notebooks. And that's what I love about this, because say I want to set this up. I have notebooks from before, like my soap. Sometimes I'll go and sit here and read what I did. Like, I still have some set up, so I always have a soap one. So here I go, and this veiled crane only has 2 notebooks, but I can use one of those little thingies. Where are they? Sorry, I'm gonna make a lot of noise now, because now I want to get one. Those little rubber bands, and I can insert 2. Like, say here I have notes and I have scripture, and I want to put these 2 together, but I only have one little elastic. Well, I can go ahead and use this little rubber band. You can buy them at the Fauxdori website or Goulet pins or whatever have you. And now I have 2 together, or use a regular rubber band. Put that in there. And you see how I already kind of have it all set up just because I'm ready to go. Somebody asked me on my channel, how much time do you devote to decorating and all that? Like, you got to remember, I've been in this kind of little planner community for like 3 years. So I've, decorated a lot of things in that time span. But do I do this 24/7? No, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I work. No, I can't. But, which I would love to. But, it doesn't take much to decorate something, in my opinion. But I have all of these for that purpose. If I want to change them out, I can. So I have a fabric one. And this is, again, veiled crane. And I have a setup video of this one on my channel. I also have these. These are completely empty. Like, this one is a FoxyFix in the natural. See, this is ready to go. See how it's ready to go? It's already kind of decorated. All I need to do is put the books in. So, or I can move stuff around from my other setups. This is a creme brulee in the narrow size. See how it's just ready to go. I think it makes things easier when you do that. At least in my opinion. I love all my systems. I love my notebooks. I don't think that there will be a day where I don't have multiple ones. There's a variety of different ways that you can use all of these different notebooks. But if you start limiting yourself, or if you start buying way too many and you don't need to be buying that many, and you start stressing yourself out and saying, oh my gosh, I really need that one. No, I need that one. Yeah, it's fun. And yeah, if we have the money, hey, if you don't have a budget and you're not, your husband's not tripping, or your house is not all jacked up because you just maxed out your credit cards buying everything, well then, hey, we all know it's our kind of therapeutic hobby, and we find we find joy in it. But for me, it's like, don't find too much joy where the Lord is supposed to, don't replace it with like what the Lord is supposed to do. You know what I mean? But anyways, I have like rambled on again, and I thought, okay, it wouldn't be 20 minutes, but it's completely at 19:08 and counting. So if there is something that I kind of didn't answer, I quickly just wanted to show you all of them. If there's something that you have a question about, of course, ask me. I don't know if there was like a new update installed on my phone or whatever, but my comments from my YouTube pop up like not instant messages, but like a text message. So it's like really cool. So if you need anything and you have a question, I'll try to respond to it. So these are the 3 right now I'm using. My Bible study, my a planner, which is in a traveler's notebook style. This goes in my purse. Right now, this is staying at home on my desk. So I'm using all these traveler's notebooks. I've used this as a wallet before, so it's awesome. But if you have any additional questions, let me know, okay? Once again, thank you so very much for watching, and God bless everyone.